In this video, we're going to look at the CSEC Math January 2024 Paper 2, Question 6. Now in this question, we want to use pi as 22/7. So we have the diagram below shows a hemispherical bowl and a cylindrical tin. The diameter of the cylindrical tin is 12 centimeters. So we've seen that here. This is the cylindrical tin. Diameter is 12 centimeters. The height is 17 centimeters. So this is the height of the cylinder here. And the radius of the bowl is r. So this is the bowl, and this is the radius here being r. Now for A, part 1, we want to show that the volume of the cylindrical tin is 1,923 centimeters cubed, correct to 4 significant figures. Now we know the cylinder is what you call a prism, and the volume of any prism is the cross-sectional area multiplied by the height. And we have a circle at the top, and opposite to the top is the bottom, and we have the same circle. So once we have the same face on opposite ends of a solid, that would make it a prism. And that same face on the opposite ends would be the cross-section. And the distance between the two same faces would be the height of the prism. So essentially, the volume of a cylinder would be to find the area of the circle and multiply it by the height, which is the 17 centimeters. So the volume of a cylinder is going to be equal to the area of the circle times the height. So that's going to come up here. Volume of cylinder is equal to pi r squared, which is the area of the circle, multiplied by the height of the prism. So pi is 22/7. Multiplied by r squared, and the radius now, here they give us the diameter, which is 12, and you know the radius is half the diameter. So the radius will be 6. So we have 6 squared multiplied by the height, which is 17. So I'm just going to put notes. The diameter was equal to 12 centimeters. Therefore, the radius was equal to 12 divided by 2, which is 6 centimeters. So now we can work all this out on the calculator, all right? Because this is a paper 2 question, so everything could be done on the calculator. Okay, so here I have my calculator. For the fraction, I could put 22. This is the fraction button here for over, so over 7. Then we multiply by 6. We're going to square it by pressing the x squared button. So that's your radius squared. And multiply by the height, which is the 17. And we just press equal. And this is 1,923 and 3/7. Now to convert this mixed number to a decimal, we just start to press the fraction button like this. And you see, we get it as a decimal. Now they say they want it to 4 significant figures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, stop at the 3. After the 3s are 4. Therefore the 3 remains the same and everything behind it turns to zeros. But everything behind it is after the decimal point. So those zeros would not matter. So the answer would just be 1,923 centimeters cubed. So we'll have 1,923 centimeters cubed. Now moving on to part A, part 2, we have the bowl is completely filled with soup. When all the soup is poured into the empty cylindrical tin, 90% of the volume of the tin is filled. Calculate the radius of the bowl. So looking at the shapes, the bowl is half of a sphere. That's why they gave us the volume V of a sphere with radius r is V is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. So this is the volume of a whole sphere. But what we have here is half of a sphere. So the volume of this bowl will be half of 4/3 pi r cubed. So I'll just put volume of bowl is equal to half multiplied by 4/3 pi r cubed. So we can see that the 2 here will cancel with 4. 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 4, 2. So let's do that. 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 4, 2. So you get 1 here and 2 here. So 1 by 2 is 2 and 1 by 3 is 3. So we get 2/3. All right, so 1 by 2 is 2 for the numerator. 1 by 3 is 3 for the denominator. So 2/3 pi r cubed. And this will be our volume of the bowl. Now, what they are saying here is that the volume of the bowl is equal to 90% of the volume of the cylindrical tin. Now remember, on the previous question, we worked out the volume of the cylinder. So we just have to find 90% of that volume and put it equal to the volume of the bowl. So remember, the volume of the cylinder is 1,923 centimeters cubed. And of course, the cylinder is the tin that we are talking about. So the volume of the tin will be the 1,923 centimeters cubed. So volume of tin is equal to the 1,923 cm cube. And remember, the volume of the bowl is 90% of the volume of the tin. So volume of bowl is equal to 90% of 1,923. So that is 90 over 100 multiplied by 1,923 over 1. Now again, all this could be done on the calculator. Of course, 90 over 100 is 9 over 10. So we have 90, use the fraction button, over 100 multiplied by 1,923. Press equal. We get a mixed number. Just press the fraction button again to convert it to a decimal. So that's 1,730.7 centimeters cubed. Now, if you didn't want to use the fraction button and you wanted to get the answers at decimal one time, you can just put 90 divided by 100. 90 divided by 100 and then multiply by 1,923. And see you get a decimal one time. 1,730.7. So we have 1,730.7 centimeters cubed. So now, if the volume of the bowl is 2/3 pi r cubed, and the volume of the bowl is also 1,730.7, then 2/3 pi r cubed has to be equal to 1,730.7. So I'll put, this would imply, spell a line here, separate these. All right, that 2/3 pi r cubed is equal to 1,730.7. Now remember, in this question, we are using pi as 22 over 7. So let's put that in. So we have 2/3 multiplied by pi, which is 22 over 7, multiplied by r cubed, and I'll put the r cubed over 1. So I can simplify properly. Is equal to 1,730.7. So now we've seen that nothing would cancel with the fractions here. So we can multiply 2 by 22 and get 44, and the 3 by 7 and get 21. So it'll be 2 by 22, 44, 44 by r cubed. So that'll be 44 r cubed, and 3 by 7, 21 by 1, still 21. So we'll have 44 r cubed over 21 is equal to, and I'll put this 1,730.7 over 1, so I can cross multiply one time. So 1,730.7 over 1. Now we're going to cross multiply. So 44 r cubed by 1 is just 44 r cubed. And 21 times this 1,730.7. So we have 21 times 1,730.7. Press equal. And we get 36,344.7. So we have 36,344.7. So now we have this 44 being multiplied by the r cubed. So when we transfer the 44 across, the operation will change to division. Or you can say, you divide both sides of the equal sign by 44. All right, so you're going to get r cubed is equal to 36,344.7 divided by 44. So r cubed is going to be equal to, all right, 36,344.7 divided by 44. Press equal. So we get 826.0, so forth. So let's write this as 826 to three significant figures. So we have 826, and therefore r would just be the cube roots of this 826. So r is equal to, so now what I could do, since I have the answer already on the calculator, I can just press cube root one time. So for me, I'll press second function, and the x cube button, that's cube root, and press equal. So you see, find the cube root of the answer, and I got 9.38 and so on. So to 3 significant figures, we stop at the 8. After that 2, so 9.38 centimeters. So we have 9.38 centimeters. And that will be a radius of the bowl. So now moving on to question 6 part B, we have in the diagram below, points L, M, and N are on the circumference of a semicircle. So this here is a semicircle. L, M, and N are on the circumference of the semicircle with center O. So this is the center. So L to O is the radius, O to N is the radius, and L to N is the diameter. And let's say now, and a radius of 18 centimeters. So I can put that in. All right, so from L to O is 18 centimeters, and from O to N is 18 centimeters. So a total diameter would be 36 centimeters. Now, what they want us to do is to calculate the total area of the shaded sections in the diagram. So in terms of the shaded sections, we have two components. We have this little piece here and this little piece here. Now, this is easy because here, let's start to find the area of the semicircle, which will be the entire thing, which is half the area of a circle. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. So let's find half of that. And here we have a triangle. Now, the important thing about this, by saying that the radius is 18 and O is the center of the circle, well, yes, from O to L is the radius and from O to N is the radius. So I have 18 here and 18 here. But remember, this is the circumference of the circle. And any distance from the center to the circumference is the radius. Therefore, from O to M is also the radius. So we also have 18 centimeters here. And we know the area of a triangle is base by height over 2, or a half base by height. And we know the base and the height of a triangle must always be at right angles to each other. And we see the right angle here. So therefore, this is the height of the triangle, being 18, and the base would be 36 centimeters. So it doesn't matter which one you work out first. So let's go with the semicircle first. So area of semicircle, and remember, it's a half times the area of a circle. So it's a half times pi r squared. So that's a half times, and remember the question says to use pi as 22 over 7. So 22 over 7 multiplied by the radius, and the radius is 18, so 18 squared. Now again, we can put all this into the calculator and work it out. So we're going to put equal to, so we're going to have a half, so 1 over 2, using the fraction button, multiplied by 22 over 7, so 22 over 7. Multiply by r squared, so that's 18, press the x squared button to square it, press equal, and we get 509 and 1/7. So I'm going to write 509 and 1/7 centimeters squared. Now, as a decimal, all I have to do is press the fraction button, and it converts it into a decimal, which is 509.14, so on. Now, if you want to write the final answer as a decimal to 3 significant figures, what I should do is write these answers here to 4 significant figures, so I can approximate the final answer to 3 significant figures. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is the 4th significant figure. After there's a 4, so the 1 remain the same. So 509.1 to 4 significant figures. So I'll have 509.1 centimeters squared. So now for the area of the triangle. So area of triangle is equal to, and I'll just put base by height over 2. And the base being 18 plus 18, which is 36. I'll still write it like this, 18 plus 18, that's the base, times the height, which is 18, over 2. So what we get is 36 times 18 over 2. And I mean, you could do this on the calculator, but you know, you could cancel the 2 with the 36 and get 18. So canceling 2 with 36. So I'll get 1 here, and here I'll get 18. 2 to 36, 18. So what I'll end up with is just 18 times 18, which is 18 squared. So 18 times 18 is equal to 324. So we have 324 centimeters squared. So now the area of the shaded sections will be equal to the area of the semicircle, take away the area of the triangle. So that's 509.1, take away 324. And that's equal to 509.1, take away 324. And we get 185.1. Of course, I'll write this to 3 significant figures because remember that 509.1 was approximated. So let's write this as 185 to 3 significant figures. So 185 centimeters squared. And that will bring us to the end of this video on question 6. So stay tuned for the next video on question 7.